Everyone patching into the Monday morning European Outlook. It seems Monday at gasweather.com, which means only one thing. It's Europe Day. Every Monday at gasweather to have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. It's been a pretty mild week across most parts of Europe. Last week is going to be even milder. This week, a very mild week coming up, particularly in Central East areas where you'd expect it to be cold. The Atlantic is driving the pattern through the coming week, and that's forcing the cold Arctic and Siberian air away to the north and the east at the moment. So have a look at all the charts in a moment. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on most pages at gasweather.com. Have a browse through the widgets, and if there's any articles that you're interested in, just click through. And the website we're using for European Outlook, it's weathercentral.de. You can find a link to that on my links page. So let's get on with the European Outlook, and here we go. We've got high pressure out in the Atlantic around the Azores, big area of high pressure there, and that's sort of the driver with these areas of low pressure up to the north around Greenland Ice. It's the driver to bring in those mild westerly winds across Europe. So this area of low pressure off the Norwegian coast is battering much of the north of Europe, but it's driving in those Atlantic winds. We've also got this ridge out to the east around the Black Sea, and that's sort of helping to pull up warmer southerly winds on the eastern side of Europe from the eastern part of the Mediterranean. So it's a double whammy, really, of mild. So yeah, for air temperatures tell the story. The cold air is really restricted to Scandinavia and western parts of Russia, and even there it's not that cold. It's a lot milder than it should be, really. Most parts of Europe having a very mild day today with upper air temperatures. The dew points also tell the story. Now the dew points are below freezing across parts of Scandinavia, but not as below freezing as you would expect on the 15th of December. And that's all there is, really. There's a few dew points over towards the far southeast and east of Europe but are close to sort of freezing level, but really a very mild scene there with the dew points across Europe. Remember, the dew points are a reflection of moisture, or a reflection of below level temperature in the atmosphere, of how much moisture is in the atmosphere. When they're at freezing, it's sort of at the level where you get frost and snow. So very mild with the dew points and the upper air temperatures today. So we've got quite a lot of heavy rain, thunderstorms through the central bowl of the Mediterranean. Then you get a drier slot through much of Spain and Portugal into central southern France, then going off in towards southern Germany and Poland, and then down into the southeast of Europe, around the Balkans and through in towards the southeast part of the Mediterranean. Up to the northwest, it's more unsettled with showers around Scotland, and some longer spells of rain coming through the north of France, through the Low Country towards northern Germany. And as this comes up in Scandinavia, there could be some sleet or snow in places, but nowhere near as much as you would expect at this time of year. Temperatures, nothing to write home about, really. 2s, 3s, 4s in central parts of Europe, up to 6, 7, 8. Really above average in most places. You have to go to the very far northeast of Europe to find temperatures around freezing today, and even there they are higher than you would expect at this time of year. Low pressure's driving in again as we go through the middle of the week, so no change in the pattern. These westerlies extending from the Atlantic, going right the way through to Russia. High pressure around Spain and Portugal should be keeping it mainly dry down there. Our air temperatures very, very mild across most parts of Europe. Once again, dew points very mild, but it is turning a bit colder across Scandinavia. We have got some colder air setting in there across Norway and down into central parts of Sweden as well. But really, other than that, the dew points are way above average. Quite a lot of heavy rain coming in with that low pressure through the middle part of the week. It's dry around Spain and Portugal with that ridge of high pressure from the Azores into the central bowl of the Mediterranean. Come down in towards Corsica, Sardinia. There could be a few showers going down into southern Italy as well. Some heavy showers or thunderstorms possible around Greece, but many parts southeast Europe actually mainly dry. But up in the northwest, it is wetter and windier with that area of low pressure. So some of this rain coming in towards Norway will be turning to snow, and as we come further southwards in towards towards Germany and France. I think that mainly is rain, and that backs away in towards southern parts of England and into Ireland as well. Very mild through the middle of the week across the west of Europe, so Ireland, United Kingdom, seeing temps up to 11, 12, 13 degrees into the 50s Fahrenheit. That's also the case for many parts of France as well. It's cooler further east, but not cold really. Not for the time of year anyway, with temperatures generally holding above freezing in most places. We get through towards the end of the week and we've still got low pressure driving in the westerly winds, so no change to the pattern. It's cooling off in the northwest, but it's not cold, it's just a little bit cooler. The air is coming more from a northerly source in the Atlantic and polar maritime influence as opposed to tropical maritime, but overall the westerlies are driving mild air through as Europe to the end of the week. Dew points again very mild in most places away from central and northern parts of Scandinavia. Outbreaks of heavy rain extending in. Some of this as it gets up towards the northeast could turn to sleet or snow, but most of it out in the west with falling as rain. And notice Mediterranean main time, it's not going to be a bad week at all through the Med this week. If you want to get some winter sunshine, Minorca, Mallorca, Corsica, Sardinia, Ibiza, all those islands through the central bowl of the Mediterranean are going to do pretty well, I think, actually this week with a lot of fine weather. Of course, not going to be overly hot because it's December, but even so, pretty decent week coming up there. But quite a lot of heavy rain through central parts of Europe, driving in on those westerly winds with heavy showers following on behind towards the United Kingdom, Ireland as well. The temperatures mild, very mild across most parts of Europe. Look at that, even Poland up to 10 degrees in places, 50 Fahrenheit, way above where temperatures should be at this time of the year. And then we go through to next weekend with no real change. The basic setup continues for high pressures ridging from the Azores through the Med, low pressures up to the northwest, and we're still driving in those westerly winds as well as we go through to next weekend. So again, the upper air temperatures telling the story. It's a little bit colder perhaps in the far east and northeast Europe, but generally the westerlies are being driven through, bringing mild Atlantic air to most places. How many times have I said mild in this video? If we have a look at the dew points again, very mild. There's that word again, away from Scandinavia where they are a little bit colder. A lot of dry weather again through most parts of the Mediterranean next weekend, so the nice winter weather continues down there in the Med. It's more settled out to the northwest with Ireland, UK, low country, particularly Holland and Belgium and northern Germany and Denmark, getting some quite heavy rain coming through. That could turn to sleet or snow as it comes up into towards southern parts of Norway and Sweden. Temperatures on the mild side, not quite as mild as on Friday, but even so, still way above average. Nowhere really away from the very, very far north of Europe, and you can't see it on this chart, having maximum temperatures below freezing, particularly mild, of course, out in the west of Europe. So it's not a very Christmassy week, is it? If you was off to Eastern Europe, hoping to see some Christmas snow, not great. We've got the westerlies driving through Europe, going to be bringing a lot of mild weather through the course of the coming week with showers, longer spells of rain, particularly in the north. The Med doing very well though this week. That's the place to go if you want to get some winter sunshine. Go to the Med, to those islands in the Central Bowl. You'll do pretty good. That's it for now. It'll be the final European outlook of 2014 next week, because I'll be resting it the week after over Christmas. So we'll come back for the last European outlook of the year next Monday. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.